Saturday, the weekend. Hope you guys enjoy it. Whatever it is you have planned to do. I know some of our friends, some of our burpee friends have a big event planned. Tune into the Burpee Reaper and Eric LaPointe and see what it is. I'll let them reveal it to you. So we're going to continue going through the workbook of A Course in Miracles. I'm sorry. Yep, going through the workbook. And remember, the workbook is 365 lessons, one a day. Never do more than one a day. That's the only actual instructions in A Course in Miracles. Do one a day. Don't worry about if you get it perfect. Get a lifetime of practice. The workbook just gives you these guidelines. Follow one lesson a day, no more. You can stay on one lesson longer than one day, if need be. You can stay on one lesson for a lifetime. If you stayed on one lesson, any one of them, you would have a complete path to awakening. If you spent each day just trying to not even decipher, but let the meaning of the lesson reveal itself to you. That's the amazing part. That it's a wonderful thing about living in a holographic universe. When one thing is recognized, the entirety is known. The entirety is known. Such is the nature of a holograph. One thing is given, and the entirety is revealed. Pretty cool, huh? So lesson 6. 6 days in. If you guys been hanging with me, then this is where we are. Lesson 6 says, let's review from 1 to 6. I don't know if we'll do a review every single day, maybe the previous lesson, but while we're only 6 in, that's not too much, is it? Lesson 1, the workbook begins. The workbook in the Course in Miracles begins with, nothing I see means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything I see all the meaning that it has to me. Number 3, I do not understand anything I see. 4, we're starting to turn inwards. These thoughts do not mean anything. 5, I am never upset for the reason that I think. Number 6 tells you why. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Imagine that. You see something that is not there. You are upset because you see something that is not there. Meaning, you're seeing something that you've given meaning to that isn't actually there. It's just your meaning that you've given to this. In and of itself, it has no meaning. Lesson 7, well, don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but lesson 7 says we see only the past in everything. Hey, Leo. There are people chatting. Let me fix that. No, that's okay. I appreciate that, though. We sort of take it as it comes. People feel like chatting, we chat. If not, man, I got... Sorry about that. I got enough to say for all of us. So, here's lesson 6. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Hey, James. Let's see. Not to light a fuse. James says, gender. Not to light a fuse. Don't understand. The exercise with this idea, very similar to the preceding one. Again, it is necessary to name both the form of upset. It could be anger, fear, worry, depression, so on. And the perceived source, very specifically for any application for the idea. Here's an example. I am angry at whomever, name a name, because I see something that is not there. I am worried about because I see something that is not there. Today's idea is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you. Anything. And can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. Don't resist anything. Don't resist anything that comes to you to practice. I am upset because I see something that is not there. The Course says there are no small upsets. All of them are equal. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. So if my peace of mind is upset because I can't find a parking spot in the parking lot of a grocery store, it is as equally disturbed as if I'm given really bad news. That's not saying that, devastating news isn't devastating. It's saying that according to my peace of mind, both are equal. If I allow one to upset me, I allow the other. It's in that upset. We're seeing that what's not there because we're giving it all the meaning that it has to us. If we want peace of mind, then we see the originality of each moment. Further, the last one, I cannot see this form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then, I regard them all the same. All right. Sean says, hi, Eric. I have news about my sister. She has severe bruised foot and her whole foot is dark black. Let's see. Sean, that's actually better news, right? Severe bruise, painful, I know, but it will heal. Man, it's a relief. It might take a little bit of time, but right, no fracture, nothing broken. I'm glad to hear that, my friend. Bruce says, how much? I guess just enough, right? Ryan says, good morning, Yogi. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Hey, Max. How are you? How you been? So, the first 50 lessons offered in the Course in Miracles are sort of a path of negation. We are how much for classes? I don't teach classes. We just talk. A path of negation. Bruce says, oh, okay. Absolutely, my friend. Meaning we want to retrain the mind to see hurt, separation, disconnection, to see the present moment where everything is already instantly healed because in this present moment, we're free. Max says, a little rough lately, but always trying to come back to peace and love, the only real reality of existence. I agree. Sorry things have been a little rough. Max says, how have you been? Been okay. I've had a few rough spots myself. Here's the thing. All those rough patches, opportunities to heal. An opportunity to heal. An opportunity to love ourselves through them. Not through denial. You know what I mean? We don't say, I'm not experiencing this, I'm not feeling that. We're saying, can I see peace instead of this? Can I see peace during this, as it's happening? As this is occurring, can I choose peace? And when we do that, and we just keep practicing, and we don't get upset with ourselves, we don't add upset to upset. We don't say, man, why isn't this working? Why is my practice? The practice is the healing. Does that make sense? That's why St. Catherine of Siena said, all the way to heaven is heaven. Or Suzuki Roshi said, meditation practice is enlightenment. Meditation is enlightenment. All the way, practicing the Tao is the Tao. Sean says, we have to have her bike at our place because she can barely walk at all. Well, each day it's going to heal a little more, my friend. Still sending prayers out to your sister, as to you guys, and coming together to help her heal, coming together to support your sister. That's awesome. Anytime you need to reach out a bit, Max. I always love this section of the course. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Again, meaning that from not finding a parking spot to finding out that, something huge, something seemingly demonstrating, all of them are the same according to their disturbance in our peace of mind. If we heal one small thing, it increases our responsibility, our ability to respond to anything else that upsets our peace of mind. So we treat everything as equal, meaning we love ourselves equally through every small upset and every seeming large upset. The answer is always love. The answer is always, can I love myself through this upset? And we're upset because we see something that isn't there. What we see that isn't there is separation. We see the absence of love in everything that upsets us. So if we can choose to have love reveal itself in everything, that's our opportunity. That's the healing. That's the path of forgiveness. Remember, forgiveness is looking deeper. Forgiveness isn't saying that the event, forgiveness isn't dealing with events. Simple as that. It's not dealing with events. It's not dealing with grievances. It's looking deeper to the reality that only love is present. Over and over and over and over again. Our practice is imperfect until it's perfect. Don't be in a hurry. Life is always going to give you these opportunities to practice. That's the wonderful thing about, for me, what the Course in Miracles offered, that we think we're going to have this great big awakening moment and life's going to be great. And maybe it's going to happen to you. I don't know. For me, it was better to have this gentle path that I could just keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving, no matter what presented itself. It didn't have to keep gritting my teeth and thinking, I'm going to reach this great moment where everything's going to be perfect. I could just accept life on life's terms, whatever it brought to me, and say this too, this too, this too. Max says, thank you, Eric. I don't want to burden you, but perhaps I should reach out when I am through tough patches. Absolutely. It's never a burden. Funny enough, for me, going through the workbook lessons again for the upteenth time, for the 147th time or whatever, because I always return to it. Lesson 137. When I am healed, I am not healed alone. My healing is interdependent upon Max's healing. Max's healing is interdependent upon my healing. We never heal in isolation. We never heal alone. So, man, we see everything as the opportunity to extend ourselves in love. I might not have any answers. I probably don't. I most definitely don't have any great advice. But I do have the opportunity and the willingness just to be a loving presence for however long I'm capable. Maybe it's just for a few encouraging words. Maybe it's just to say, you got this, my friend. Maybe it's just to listen. Maybe when we come together, something bigger happens. Maybe we have a collective healing for both of us. But we never know. The entire purpose of my channel, even when we're just joking around, even when we're talking about things that seem to have nothing to do with what I'm talking about now, it's all a collective healing. When we're laughing, when we're experiencing joy, or when we are helping someone go through something tough, like Sean, what he's going through with his sister right now. That's our opportunity. It's not just for Sean. It's not just for Max. That's my opportunity. I get to heal through just being that loving presence, even for a moment, for Max and for Sean's sister. Sean says, still can't believe how she had her birthday the next day. She had a bike accident somewhat. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, that's the whole thing with life. We got our ups followed by a down. That was the thing. I think that was the thing that started me thinking, you know, what is the point? What is the point of having this high moment if the next day I'm going to get in a bike accident? What's the point? And of course the Course says there is no point. There's just life. Ups, downs, evenness. Things just happen. But the journey through life is one of forgiving the ups, forgiving the downs, and just that equanimous state of accepting and loving, accepting and loving. Of course, dive deep into the joyousness of life. Be sad for the sadness of life. But you, who is pure awareness at all times, pure unconditional love at all times, remains truly equanimous, and we get to experience that just through forgiveness. That this too, I forgive. This too is just an event in life for me to love myself through. This too is just an event in my life in which I get to love you through. It's all an opportunity. It's our practice. Hey, Alice. Alice says, I'm going shopping for pumpkins. May you pick the perfect pumpkin that brings you joy and happiness, my friend. Picking a pumpkin is no easy choice. You gotta get the right one. Alice has got to go. Well, thanks for stopping in, Alice. Much appreciated. So, Max, yeah, you know, we can always do pick a breathwork session to do together. Or again, you know, just chat. I'm up for it. Whatever you want. Whatever you want and whatever you want. So again, Sean, sending love to your sister, to you and your family for helping her get through this. As weird as it sounds, I'm glad it was just a deep and bad bruise and nothing fractured. Max says, thank you very much, Eric. You're welcome, Max. Always. Remember, it's just as much an opportunity for me as it is for you. So if we work through these practices in the Course in Miracles one day at a time, we go from the very beginning. Nothing I see means anything, which sort of seems like a downer. The same with Buddhism, you know. Buddhism begins with life is suffering. Traditionally, in the original language of the Buddha, Pali, it was life is dukkha, which means inherently transitory, unsatisfying. Translated into suffering, into the English language. Life is suffering. Tells you why life is suffering. Because, again, sort of mistranslated, life is suffering because of our desires. Not necessarily. Life is suffering because we cling to that which is transitory. We cling to things that are in and of themselves always going to be unsatisfying because they end. They're not supposed to be lasting. And yet, we cling to them because we want them to last. Or we don't want them to be here and we want them to go away quicker or not even be here at all. The Buddha then outlines a way out of suffering. The third noble truth is suffering is psychologically optional, meaning we come to a point of acceptance. And what is, but won't always be because it's changing. And then there's a eightfold path of Buddhism that helps get us out of suffering. Yoga says the same thing, and they offer 4 schools of yoga, as well as within Raja Yoga, one of those schools, an 8-fold path and 8 branches of yoga, similar in a way to Buddhism. We have a message that is withheld. Sean says, "Do you have?" I do. I have Facebook. Please look me up, Eric McCarty. Do you have Facebook so I can send you the pictures of your foot? Yep, feel free. Anyone's always free to look me up on Facebook. Always happy to connect. So A Course in Miracles 2 starts with sort of the path of negation. It wants to strip us away. It wants to bring us back to ground zero so that we can retrain our minds to the path of the heart, so that we become loving and forgiveness, because in reality, there is only love. We just don't remember. So A Course in Miracles strips us bare and then says, now remember. Now let's learn the path of love. Many people never get past the first noble truth of Buddhism. Many people never get to the deep teaching of yoga. They prefer to stay on the surface of working with the asanas. Hardly anyone ever gets past the first few lessons of A Course in Miracles, because who wants to be told that nothing we see means anything? But then they continue living in a life where they just go from the surface of meaningless self and never dive deep. Until eventually, who knows when? Maybe when something big happens and they're tired of suffering. Maybe at the end of their life. Maybe, if you believe in reincarnation, the next life. Some people believe past lives, future lives, present life, all happening simultaneously. Quantum physics, that would be so. Quantum physics says there's no time. Albert Einstein famously said, time and space are an illusion, albeit a persistent one. So the Course strips us of all beliefs, strips us even of an opinion of our beliefs, and gives us the reality. At the very beginning, it gives away the secret in the introduction of A Course in Miracles. Only love is real. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. And then it outlines the path of forgiveness. Forgiveness is seeing the real within the unreal. Meaning, if we are hurt, if we are depressed, if we are upset, all of that is unreal, illusory, in the sense that it is not love, and we see through it. We don't deny it. We don't deny our hurt. We don't deny the hurt of others. We don't go to someone, and people have done this in non-duality circles. You don't go to someone who on their hospital bed, suffering from whatever, and saying, it's just an illusion. All you do is see through the illusion to the reality that they are already whole. They are nothing but love. And you extend that to them. You don't need to say anything. You just give your presence. You see past the illusion of the hurt, of the suffering, without denying it, and you forgive. That's what forgiveness is. It's asking for a miracle. Can I see love? Can I experience love? Can I show love? Can I demonstrate love instead of this, whatever this might be? For me to look at someone who is sick and see only their sickness denies their wholeness, denies my own wholeness, denies the experience of only love. However, I know that healing takes place gently, surely, in whatever form it's supposed to, by recognizing that love. Not saying, hey, get over it. That's not for me to say. That's not our journey. That's not our path. Our path is to see only wholeness. Let's see. Max says, that's a way cool way to look at it. You don't tell other person suffering. You just extend your understanding via presence and your understanding. Perfect. Man, you just took everything that I said in about a year's worth of talking and said it in a paragraph. Perfect, Max. Absolutely. We always want to go to people and say, don't you understand? You're not sick. Don't you understand? You're not upset for the reason that you think you are. Don't you understand? You need to do this, you need to do that. That's their path, not ours. However, they come within our life, within our sphere of influence, not for us to tell them what to do, but for our responsibility, our ability to respond to them. Can I choose peace? Can I extend myself in love? While this is happening, it's never about the other person. It's always about us. So we don't say, heal. We don't say, you need to forgive. We don't say even, you need to get over this. You're upset for reasons that aren't even there. That's for people to come through on their own. However, how do they get through it? By our own demonstration. And we keep demonstrating. And every moment we have the opportunity. Are we demonstrating love? Or we could say demonstrating and teaching, same thing. So are we teaching love? Or are we teaching our vulnerability? Are we teaching that we are whole? Or are we teaching that we are separate? Are we teaching attack? Even meaning, am I accepting someone else's attack? If I'm accepting someone else's attack, then I am teaching my vulnerability to attack. If I forgive an attack, I am teaching that I am invulnerable to attack. And in my teaching, I demonstrate, and so are you. Hey, Easy. Easy says, good morning, Eric and Max. Welcome, my friend. Max says, good morning, Easy. Max says, I've heard those who challenge us the most are our biggest teachers. Absolutely. I always mention Ramana Maharshi's famous saying when he was asked, how do we react to others? How do we treat others? How do we respond to others? And he replied with a smile, there are no others. There are no others. Jesus says what we do to the least among us, we do upon ourselves. There are no least among us. There's just us. Easy says, Max, I think I reached out to you on Facebook, bro. Mogo community misses you. Max says, really? I'll check out now. Mogo says the man. Mogo? Mogo. We get some thumbs up. So we're going to get out and take our walk in just a minute. Hope everyone has a good weekend, good Saturday. Hey, tomorrow, are you guys familiar with our friend Goga? Yoga with Goga? Goga he's been here in the morning. He is a great yogi. Absolutely love Goga. It's just an energetic, enthusiastic, effervescent person. I love when he stops in, and I love going on his visiting him. Tomorrow, I will be a guest on his live stream, his Sunday service. and we're going to be talking about healing through forgiveness and self-inquiry, asking, who am I? Who are we? Talked about this before, and never settling on an answer. If you settled on an answer, well, I am this, you've settled on a description and not the actuality. Easy says, have a great walk, Yogi. Thank you, Easy. I appreciate that. So it'll be tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, US time. Come on by. I'm looking forward to it. This will be my first time really doing a YouTube type of event. Max says, have a great walk. Sean says, just sent you the picture. I just started the notification. I'll check it out, Sean. Thanks for sending it to me. I am preparing myself to cringe. But hey, it gives me an opportunity. Look at it. Send your sister some healing love. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back later if you guys are around. Always feel free. Reach out. Any reason. Even just to say hi. All right, guys. Take care.